Say
one or the
good morning.
ones yesterday? Go ahead.
Good morning. Namaste. Sadika, John, good morning all. I was always wondering in daily life experiences. Um, we have been hearing about Sabbe, Dhamma, Anatta. The moment I see the picture, it recognizes with the name. Yeah, this is Sarah, this is Jonathan, and it is so fast. Um, one is it always try to mark it, though it is not, it is wrong understanding, but it keeps happening. Marking it, identifying it, differentiating it.
Why is that wrong understanding? To
Um,
differentiate one
yeah,
person from another, can it be wrong understanding?
not, no, when I say differentiate, yeah, okay, this is hearing, this is a sound, or this is a visible object, and this is nama, this is rupa. This kind of differentiation invariably happens. That I was mentioning has a wrong understanding, which is not necessary to do it.
I see. You mean labeling the different
Labeling,
realities
yes.
that may be
I think it's
arising.
yeah.
Yes.
I think it's the remnants from your meditation practice. So used to, oh, this is sitting, this is standing, this is moving the hand. So I think it's the remnants. Sanya Vipalasa just keeps marking, remembering, conditioning, thinking about this is Sarah, this is Jonathan, this is moving the hand. All dharmas, all anatta, like you say, conditioned. Sanya, conditioned thinking, conditioned moments, conditioned wrong view. But at least you appreciate that, you understand it. Just the habit of trying to catch the reality, trying to mark it, trying to fix it. But each Dhamma has gone instantly already. By the time there is marking Sarah or Jonathan, those rupas that were recognized have long since gone. The visible objects, the sounds, and so on.
So is there a difference between the two kinds of marking you mentioned, that this is nama, this is rupa, this is visible object on the one hand, and this is Sarah, this is Jonathan, this is Tom on the other hand? Is there a difference between those kinds of marking or differentiation?
What do you mean by differentiation you are talking about? Yeah, I feel there is always try to mark it or differentiate. Okay, this is nama and this is rupa, and this is dhamma, anatta. This kind of differentiation I'm talking about.
Yes, but what I'm suggesting is that this is nama, this is rupa, is done because one thinks that it will bring more understanding.
Yes.
Whereas knowing one person from another, it isn't, there's no element there of trying to have understanding in that. It just happens instantly and naturally. In fact, one couldn't live without it. It happens for everyone, whether they've heard the Dhamma or not, whether they want to develop understanding or not. But the marking that this is nama, this is rupa, is a habit that has been developed, as Sarah said, during a former time of practice, according to one's understanding at that time. So these habits cannot just be dropped just because one appreciates that they are not actually anything to do with having more understanding. One has to be patient, and they will fall away in due course over time, but not immediately. But it's good that in the meantime, they're recognized as being something that's not useful.
Thank you. Yes.
Anything further to bring up, or should we ask Ajahn to comment on what you said? I'm not sure if I cut in before you'd finished.
No, I think you
explaining.
said rightly. Yeah, no, it was right.
No matter what situation, is it different from now? See, no matter what situation, is it different from now?
Yes, so John, when we say it is different from now means?
What is different?
The different is already past. It is no more in the present.
At moment of seeing, can it be anything or any situation? Just one moment of seeing, to be true to the truth. The enlightened one had enlightened the truth of each reality at each moment. No matter the past, the future, and this moment, all understand there are only six doorways to experience the object, right?
Yes.
Seeing is seeing, no matter when and where or any situation. Learn to be true to the truth of the Buddha word about the truth. Each reality, all dhammas, not just think about nama and rupa, all dhammas, what is dhamma, whatever is real now, is a reality. No need to classify them by thinking. Just begin to understand what is there at any moment. It's there as not it is. For example, the situation, see, how come? Any reality or just the whole idea from what has been thought about, seen, heard, and so on. That's why learn to understand the truth, the ultimate truth, which is so very deep. No matter how many times we talk about Dhamma, Nama, Rupa, and so on. What about now? That's why they can be conditioned to think again and again about people and things because the understanding is not firm enough. It's not strong enough to begin to have firm confidence of what is there real now is a reality. All around each reality, seeing left or right, seeing is seeing. What situation is it? Not at all. How deep it is. Just a moment, only one moment only. That which is conditioned to arise just to see the object clearly. That's all. See? And how come after the reality which conditioned to see clearly gone, the other moment is conditioned by the past of what has been experienced, ready to take it for something instantly. Like now, do you see me? Or can anyone see you? Impossible. The ultimate truth has to be developed little by little to be firm in daily life. It's not just thinking about Nama and Rupa and what is heard, but what is there is real, as it is, as no one at all. The meaning of Dhammas, all Dhammas are anatta. That which is seen cannot be anything at all, only one moment of seeing. So how many moments when seeing arises? It just experiences that which appears now. no matter we use any word to represent the reality right now as the light, white or red or whatever, it's only that which is seen. And it has a reason. And it has to impinge on the eye base. And there must be the eye base, and there must be the reality which is conditioned what the object impinges on the eye base to arise to see it. Only it is seen. Is it true? That's why learning the truth of reality is not just the word. It has to come closer and closer to what is so very close right now. Is there no mountain, no road, no picture, not anything at all. It's only the true nature of that which is conditioned to arise, to experience only aspect of what you say, light to color and gone. How can there be anyone or anything? Is it true? Be true to the truth. That is Satya Parami, never change, not any situation at all. Because in truth, there's no one and nothing at all. What is there is there by a reality which experiences it. If there's nothing arise to experience, how can that which now appear as appear in things around can be from moment to moment of seeing that which is seen? So no matter any situation, seeing can never change. And the situation is just the idea of thinking about that. See, when there's no thinking, is there any situation at all? All gone. Just drive on or sit on the train, pass on. Nothing is there when there's no thinking. So when there's no thinking, what is seen cannot be anything by shape and form which is remembered, and taking it to be Atta, the world of Atta, the life of Atta, the moments of Atta. It's not true. That's why the ultimate truth is the Four Noble Truth. But it's not just the word, the Four Noble Truth, but what is one by one, and what are there in one Noble Truth. Like the first one, Dukkha Arita Satya, not the word to be remembered or to be reminded in word, but to understand the reality which is there. Because the word cannot fall away, cannot arise at all. But the reality which is unknown is there conditioned, is covered up by the rapidity of it, the arising and falling away of what is there right now. Because the seeing is not the hearing, but it seems like there is both seeing and hearing together. See, ignorance is there. So no doubt about ignorance at all. Where is it? It's moment of not understanding seeing. It's moment of not understanding the object which is seen. So it's the world, the origin, the source of everything. Ignorance, no understanding of the truth. But they just move by that. Not just the word, but the understanding of the truth. What is there? The beginning, the origin of everything. Ignorance is there. Condition the whole idea about different situation, the war and peace, and on and on. So now, hearing about the truth, this is only the first round, which has to be so firm in order to get closer to the truth, not just the word about hardness. There is hardness right now. So understanding Dhamma is not understanding the word, but what is Dhamma now is understood little by little by conditions. Otherwise, it's just about the idea, the situation, from moment of waking up to the moment of going to sleep. See, that's all in life from day to day, unknown. How much ignorance of everything until listening to the truth of what Buddha said. All dhammas are anatta. Repeating all dhammas are anatta. But what is dhamma right now? Not to be atta, not to be anyone, not to be anything at all. And it's not just to talk about it, but to understand the truth of it little by little. How come the moment of there's no one now at all, only that which is seen, so very short, and that which sees, otherwise nothing appears. So no you, no me, not anyone at all, not anything at all are dhammas. So learn to understand the Dhamma of what is taken for people and things and situation. Otherwise, it's the world of ignorance and the world of people and things and situation. And then death is there. No more thinking about what is going on right now. And the one who is not dead yet experience it. Is this Dhamma? Is it firm confidence of Satya Barami, Satya Dhamma? See, until not just thinking about Nama and Rupa, but what is thinking right then? Without condition, can it arise? Nothing can arise without condition. What condition seeing to arise? What condition that which is seen to arise? As soon as they are there, they're gone, never to return, never to come back. Momentarily, death never arises again. But as soon as it's gone, it conditions next moment. See, each citta, each moment of experiencing an object, the citta, the cittasika arise together. As soon as they fall away, pass away, it conditions the next moment instantly, from morning to night, from life to life, from day to day, from month to month, from years to years. See, is this life? Chivitindriya Nama, Chivitindriya Rupa. Learn little by little of the details of Dhamma in order just to see how deep it is. To let go the desire or attachment. Try to experience it by different ways, not understanding anything at all. Otherwise, there cannot be such thought about doing something. What for? To attain Nibbana. What is Nibbana? Unknown. Because what is there now is not known.
I think it's interesting, Prakash, very interesting what Ajahn is saying, because we think, like the examples advice given in the past about particular situations, like when I'm working in the hospital and when my colleague says this, or when I'm talking to my family over lunch, we think of these as situations. But even thinking about the habit of identifying or marking, this is also a situation. The thinking is now, thinking about that habit or what happened a few moments ago when there was trying to experience Nama and Rupa and so on. This is thinking about another story, another situation. But the truth is always now. The thinking is now, the seeing is now. And as Ajahn said, at any time, in any what we call a situation, in the hospital or whilst following the habit, the realities are the same, just like now. Seeing now is just the same. Thinking now is just the same. And the clinging to I, what happened to me yesterday or my habit, is all about I, not the understanding of dharmas as anatta. So the more understanding there is of the truth now, of the dharmas now, the seeing now, what is seen now, thinking now, the more letting go there will be of the idea of trying to do something or wishing to experience this nama or that rupa or this way of thinking. So the understanding is for the letting go of clinging to trying even in subtle ways to experience certain realities. But it's all about now. So I think that's a good topic. Do you have any further comments?
Yeah, I actually, there are always conditioned to think about the people and the things as soon as there is some hearing and there is a thinking. And I think this as long as there are conditions, this kind of thinking will continue to be there, isn't it?
Right. And as Jonathan said, so what? Even the Buddha thought about Ananda and Sariputta and who he was going to assist that day and so on. So can be thinking of kusala or akusala citas. Most of the time is thinking with ignorance and attachment. But this is daily life, and it's now, even now, thinking about what Ajahn said, thinking about this or that. So even now, there can be a little understanding. It's just thinking, just seeing now, different dharmas, all anatta, all arising by conditions, nothing to be done, no one to catch it or stop it or change it, all arising and falling away by different conditions. Dhamma, just very natural, just the way it is, moment to moment. If we have the idea there shouldn't be such thinking about people, or we should do this or we should do that, that's the wrong path. But even that way of thinking can be understood when it arises now, when it appears now. So it's for the letting go of the clinging to I, doing anything, trying to catch, trying to stop, trying to control. Because dhammas are anatta, arising by different paccaya, just the way they are.
The another one is there is always remember the word and meaning rather understanding it. That is another habit, actually, always. Try to remember the words more, keep definition of each word rather understanding. That is another habit, actually, which I always contemplate.
And also the clinging is there, as Ajahn said, it's about the reality itself, what is seen now, not the word that is used, visible object or color or anything else. So it's about the understanding of the reality itself, not the word, the meaning. The words and the meanings are just used for communication, not to be memorized, not to be considered as part of the path. It's just for convenience and communication. That's all. And these habits, well, it's just natural, but there can be a bit more understanding of the clinging to, trying to learn the terms, the details, finding it so important instead of just understanding the truth, the clinging at this very moment.
But no need to fight them. Let understanding develop and they'll fall away.
I always hear the another term from Ajahn, it develops secretly. Would you
unknowingly,
please?
yes.
Yeah.
Invisibly.
It is so curious to know how this secretly develops, actually.
When it's weak, there are different levels of strength, aren't there, of awareness and understanding, like everything else. So when it's relatively weak, it can be indiscernible, not apparent, but it's still there. See, if the conditions are there for its arising, then it still occurs, but it's just of a subtle level that is not apparent to the individual. That's how it happens. It's not so much in secret, it's just that it's not apparent.
Just like now, even when we're having discussion, the subtle ignorance and attachment is arising again and again and again. Secretly, it's not known, but it's there accumulating even now. As soon as seeing sees a visible object or hearing hears a sound, the clinging is there, the ignorance is there. So just as the ignorance and attachment accumulate secretly, so understanding can begin to accumulate little by little, even though it's not apparent. But the understanding now compared to before is a little more, just like adding grains of salt into the water, little bit more, little bit more.
There is always clinging to know different meaning of the Dhamma word, in the meaning of words, rather understanding. Example, in just today's few minutes, Ajahn was saying Jivitendriya Nama, Jivitendriya Rupa. So it was very curious to know those meaning by word, rather understanding it. And of course, everything may not be able to understand, but still it is always clinging to know more and more meaning by word, rather understanding.
I'll just give a little, a mini explanation. So Jivitindriya refers to the life force. So there is Jivitindriya, which is a Cetasika, which arises with every Chitta. If there is no Jivitindriya, no life. So every Chitta has to arise, as you know, with a minimum of 7 Cetasikas. And one of these is Jivitindriya Nama. It has to arise with every Chitta to maintain the life of the Chitta and the Cetasikas it arises with. And there is also the Rupa, which is Jivitindriya. Jivitindriya Rupa arises just with the group, the kalapa of rupas that are conditioned by karma. So, for example, for the tree outside or the table or the chair, no Jivitindriya Rupa, but any groups of rupas like the eye-based group of rupas, the ear-based group of rupas, the masculinity group, the femininity group, any groups that are conditioned by karma must have the Jivitindriya Rupa in that group. So that means in those groups, always minimum 9 rupas, the 8 indivisibles, and always Jivitindriya Rupa as well, which is the life force of that group conditioned by karma only, not the groups conditioned by temperature, chitta, or nutriment, just the groups conditioned by karma. That's just very briefly. So Ajahn mentioned nama and rupa. So the first is the Jivitindriya nama, Cetasika, and the second one is the Jivitindriya rupa.
Thank you.
That's it. So the interest and the curiosity, different moments of kusala, when there is wholesome interest to understand a little more about the truth now, and moments of akusala interest when it's curiosity and one just would like to understand for the sake of catching the words or just out of curiosity, or because one doesn't understand it. Different moments, it doesn't matter, but there can be little more understanding. It can be kusala or akusala. Only understanding can know at those moments. All gone, all of no importance. Good points, Prakash.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, Sarah.
I don't know if anyone else has anything they would like to bring up or ask Ajahn, Kim Hong or Advait or Azita or any Tom or anyone.
I want to make a comment what Prakash said, na, ki that thinking is always there, but in the conventional way, we say that, okay, thinking is there, okay, but you still, one can understand that whether Sheila is there or whether there is a Sheila at that moment. So thinking is not a problem, right? It will always be there till the last moment of life. But thinking with which disrupts the life in conventional way, that is more dangerous.
Did you say thinking which deceives the life or thinking which
Disrupts the life.
Disrupts
What
the
makes
life.
you do wrong actions or
Yes,
actions with
yes,
more loba or dosha
yes.
or
So you mentioned the sila. So as we've discussed, the sila is the behavior of cheetahs. It can be kusala, akusala, vipaka, or kiriya. So when thinking, it can be with kusala or akusala. So kusala sila or akusala sila, like moments now of thinking about the Dhamma with kusala citas, kusala sila, and then moments of what we might say negative thinking, thinking with attachment, thinking with doubt, thinking with annoyance, akusala sila. So this is how it is all day. Kusala sila, akusala sila, much more akusala sila, akusala thinking than kusala thinking. Who can stop it? Who can change it? It's like Prakash said, by habit, by accumulated tendencies, even when there's been listening to Dhamma for a long time, the habits of the negative thinking or the thinking with doubt or confusion, it's conditioned, not yet eradicated. Long way to go.
That I got it. But in conventional life, I'll give you an example. Now I'm driving. It's a green signal. I'm going, and in India, people will come in between. Although their signal is red, they'll come suddenly. Okay, then there is lot of aversion. Okay, but so that will arise. There is no control over it. But if suppose it comes in speech, then it creates a lot of problems, because then the wife says, oh, why are you getting angry? Why are you shouting on that person? I am in the car, you are shouting on me. So in the conventional world, if it comes in the actions, it is more troublesome.
Right.
Well,
there are different degrees of aversion, like you say, different degrees of attachment. There's minor annoyance that one keeps quiet, and then when it's stronger, one speaks out, and it's more harmful for the others around and for oneself, but all by habit, all by accumulations.
No, means
So
if there is a action, then it is a more deeper karma, is it?
for example, if you shout back at the other driver, it is stronger dosa. And when it conditions speech and deeds which are harmful to the others, then it can bring results. Yes. So it's stronger than when it's just a thought about the annoying driver, just everyday, ordinary akusala. But when it conditions speech and deeds, it's stronger and can bring results.
Yeah. Yeah.
We talk about the akusala tendencies that disrupt life for us.
Yeah.
But I think it's always useful to keep in mind that having more kusala and less akusala is really the development of samatha. And we can say does not mean, don't have anything to do with the development of insight in this respect, that there can be understanding, as we know, of the true nature of the reality, whether the citta is kusala or akusala, because the understanding comes later, after the other moment that is the object of the understanding. And there are many ways we can justify, if you like, thinking more about kusala and akusala than about understanding what is appearing at the present moment. So it, of course, more kusala in one's daily life is to be encouraged, but not to be confused with the development of insight, which is also kusala, of course, the highest form of kusala.
So, but in the conventional terms, when we read Eightfold Noble Path, they say, abstain from akusala, abstain from killing, abstain from stealing, abstain from harsh words, backbiting, etc. So, actually, it is projected as if akusala has to be avoided in our daily life.
Not has to be, no, because the words of the precept which you are quoting, I think, aren't you? You're quoting from the 5 precepts. Is to undertake the training in avoiding taking life, the training in avoiding harsh speech, etc.
Yeah.
So it's not saying we mustn't.
Yeah. It might happen still, but the training is in that direction.
Yes. One has confidence in the value of kusala and the danger of akusala. That's it.
Yeah, because
but
there
it
is
doesn't mean the akusala won't arise. And if it does, then one should not feel that one has to jump on it and fight against it.
Yeah, because there is a lot of preference towards kushala, right? When there is akushala, automatically there is more agitation, more anger, more irritation. So there is always preference towards, okay, let me do kushala and stay calm.
Is it all about me? So I can stay calm, so I don't have a kusala, so I don't have bad results, so my wife isn't mad with me. So it's all more clinging to I, myself. It's the opposite of metta. No one doesn't care about the other driver or the wife, or it's just all about me. I want to have less akusala and more good karma.
Yes,
So,
that's how the life is, right? That's
so
how
the
it is.
very, very strong clinging to I is so obvious in life. So that conditions strong anger and upset when it's not the way I would like it all the time.
Yeah.
So these dhammas are all anatta. That's the point. It's not my habit or my akusala or my karma. They're just different dhammas.
So even if suppose there is akusala, like I shout on the driver and I even do actions, so there is a higher kind of akusala. Then next moment, it can be acknowledged. Okay, that understand that, and just let it be. No need to create more aversion towards it. Ki, why did I do like that, or what will have? Why did I do that, and all those things, right?
Is there any I to do anything in truth?
Nobody.
Or are they just different moments of thinking, different moments of akusala, different moments of clinging? Just like now, as Ajahn said. So like now, just like Prakash was saying, no need to mark this was this, this was that. But what about now? What about seeing now? What about thinking now? What about clinging to I now? What about solving my problem now? It's all the clinging, the seeing, the hearing, the thinking, just like now. I'm going to ask Ajahn to add her comments to Ajahn.
What dhammas are there at those moments?
At those moments, there is irritation, agitation,
It's
anger.
it's you or a dhamma
It's a Dhamma.
at that very moment.
Yeah, it is Dhamma, but seems as if it's me.
Even now,
Even-
exactly the same, no matter where.
Yeah,
But when there's a little more understanding of Dhamma, who knows, it conditions nice words, wholesome speech, and so on by understanding little by little, by
yeah,
conditions. Otherwise, it has to be the opposite, right? More and more ignorance and anger. It can condition more dangerous deeds, see. So understanding is there better than just I try to be good.
yeah.
Impossible as long as it's I. What about the other moments of attachment to the food, to the sight, to whatever is there? That's why learning to understand Dhamma and understanding works its way. Now, see, sometimes by conditions, but almost all the time by ignorance. The difference between ignorance and right understanding appears in a day. It depends on whether it's known or not. We learned about Dhamma, no one there at all. But at moment of shouting on someone, see what is there? Akusala. How come? Ignorance. That's why the best way, the best moment in life is understanding a little more of the truth which has been studied, that it's not any other moment at all. It's right now, any moment. At moment of touching hardness, we think about something, no thought about this is real. It's so real. And it is not as we take it for cup as usual. Because at that moment there are conditions to condition moment of instantly aware of the coldness as it's real. It's real. Adama, Adama, Adama. Before it can be classified by way of whether it's kusla or akusla. That's why even the word kusla and akusla has to be understood. It's not just the word. So what is kusla now? Understanding the danger of ignorance and understanding the benefit, the precious moment of understanding the truth, which is so very deep. Not anyone nor anything at moment of seeing, at moment of hearing, at moment of thinking, all day. They are there unknown. And when they appear, they are me or mine instantly. I'm angry. I'm angry. I'm irritated. See, I is there. But in truth, no I at all. That's why hearing more about the truth of Dhamma to understand deeper and deeper that Dhamma is very, very subtle. Even it appears, it does not appear as it is. For example, seeing right now, it does not appear as a reality experiences only that visible object, only that, never be anything else at all. Otherwise, while we are talking about the situation, I see and I hear all day. That's right, no one can force anything to arise or can have anything arise at will, but learning about the truth of conditions, it's the way to understand what moment is the most precious, to develop the understanding, not by oneself, But by hearing again, consider again, not that it's understood clearly, not at all. Because now we are in darkness, only light at moment of seeing, and only one moment of seeing in a process of experiencing the object. But the chitta experienced it clearly. So the seeing is the only reality, the only moment which experiences the object clearly. It doesn't mean that it understands at all, but it just experiences the object so clear that it brings about a condition, whatever is after. The idea of something, the idea of someone, the idea of the fake diamond and the idea of real diamond, it conditioned the wholesome deeds or unwholesome deeds by taking it with low power dosa and so on. That's why we learn a little more of the Buddha's word, not just underestimate seeing, but it just see. It sees clearly, and it's only a moment, only one moment of experiences the object in light of visible objects. So, are we now in darkness?
Yes.
Does it appear?
Yes.
Really, we are in light all day,
It doesn't
it
appear
seems.
like that, but it is there. Yeah.
But who knows? The truth is that the world is dark. At moment of hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, thinking, liking, or whatever. See, at moment of anger is there, light or dark. It's not that which is seen. That's why listen more to gradually letting go the great ignorance and clinging to no matter what as something and someone through the whole life, from life to life, on and on. The word of atta until death, until hearing about the truth. No atta at all, not anything, not anyone, and have firm confidence, satya barami, that this is so true. When it's so true, should it be realized? Should it be listened more? Should it be considered more? Should it be developed more by hearing again and again, not expecting for anything at all? Otherwise, it's attachment conditioned by ignorance, not enough understanding the truth of what is there. Right now, each moment.
Yes.
So study Dhamma is not just to find out the situation, to solve it, but to understand the words of the Buddha, of the ultimate truth. What is there is a Dhamma. So very short, conditioned to be only that moment, only that reality, and then gone, never to arise again. And why do we keep on talking about it again and again and again? Because it's not enough yet to condition moment of direct awareness with understanding of what is heard right now. Everything we're talking about is there right now. Visible object, hearing, liking, attachment, aversion, ignorance. In a day, they are there, unknown. That's why we keep on talking about it again and again and again and begin to understand a little more of each word of the Buddha, which clarify the truth little more. Not just, oh, it's Nama or it's Rupa. For 45 years, each word should be studied because each moment of hearing, considering carefully, it secretly developed. And that is the path of the Four Noble Truth. Not just the word samadhi, but it has to be understanding the very subtle reality, which it takes how long to realize it. before becoming Buddha? How long developed understanding and parami? Sariputta, how long? Everyone, how long? So it doesn't matter at all, as long as it's not yet a little more understanding of the truth by different aspects to condition the moment of letting go the idea of self or something right now. No act, right? Seen, only color, visible object. Just a dot of light among those realities in darkness. So we can talk about any word that Buddha taught to have a little more letting go of ignorance and attachment to even seeing or that which is seen.
Yeah, thank you, Ajahn. So whenever there is a object which is delightful, may it be a, sweet or some experience, there is a little understanding that it is futile to indulge into it, but still the tendency is so strong that there is indulgence. Then when the understanding deepens, or when there is a right understanding, probably it will automatically loosen the attachment, is it?
Forget again, all dhammas are conditioned.
Yeah,
So learn to understand condition for any dhamma.
yeah,
Not our own thought as before, but each word of the Buddha's teaching
yeah,
is about the truth of whatever is there, every moment. We talk about hardness, it's there right now.
yeah,
See, no understanding of it, just think about other things. But what is the first Ariya Satya of the four Ariya Satya? See,
dukkha.
everyone knows by name, Dukkha Ariya Satya,
Yeah,
not just Dukkha Ariya Satya, but what is Dukkha, which is Ariya Satya? See, what does it mean? What is the reality? That is Dukkha Ariya Satya, the Satya which is so great, so very virtuous, to understand it as it is right now. Is that Satya? Is that Dukkha Satya?
yes,
What is it?
that every moment is
Every moment means no and nothing at all about every moment. It's just every moment. But what is there at a moment? In a moment right now. Learn to know it's right now to be known. That is dukkha, satya.
yeah,
Otherwise, looking on in the reading the line, the pages about dukkha satya, but it's there right now, isn't it?
mm,
What is dukkha? Satya.
yeah, ignorance,
Is it there now?
yes,
Why is dukkha satya?
because it is always changing and it is unsatisfactory.
Changing or falling away?
Yeah, arising and falling away.
absolutely, ultimately, never arise again. It is temporary death.
Temporary death.
Yes, there are three kinds of death.
Yeah.
So the falling away of that which has risen is what kind of death?
Yeah.
Temporary
Yeah.
death. And what is the other one? Death that everyone knows.
Yeah.
And the last one,
Nibbana.
Samucheta Morana. Samucheta never rise again completely, absolutely, ultimately. Death. Never arise again. What has arisen? We fall by conditions. No conditions for anything to arise after death, which is samucheta, death. Can it be any time in life?
Yeah.
What kind of death?
Yeah. Any first kind of death is there every moment, and the other two can happen any moment.
And the last one?
Can happen any. We don't know. It can happen any moment.
But it is true for the death of Arahata.
Yeah.
Panika Marana, Kana is momentary death. Sammati Marana, everyone knows, birth and death. And Samucheta just for the Arahata, death moment of Arahata.
Yeah.
So now, what kind of death is there? Now,
Now the momentary death.
yeah, death of each moment.
Yeah.
A little bit understanding the impermanence of life. Life is not permanent. Each one is conditioned to arise to experience the object and then gone, never to arise again. That means that there cannot be anyone or anything at all because it's gone, never to arise again.
Yeah.
So this is Satya Dhamma. This is Dukkha Satya. It is the first round, it's true, but it's not yet realized. So there is doubt about now. Seeing arises and falls away. How come? Can it be realized? Not by anything or anyone, but by the development of right understanding, little by little. And that is the path. And we call it the Eightfold Path. And the first one is Samadhi. It's not just reading about the word and the meaning, definition, but it's moment of understanding how deep it is without beginning to understand a little more clear about the truth of it. How can there be letting go of this moment? It's gone. It's not the driver, it's not good driver and so on at all. So right understanding develops on together with parami, little by little, because the ego is so great, so enormous, it cannot understand seeing or that which is seen, hearing, and that which hears, everything in life. That's right. Among all kinds of that which arise and falls away, right understanding is the best. Is it great? So it is Indriya. So there are many different classification of Dhamma by way of Indriya. See, to learn that they are different. They cannot be the same. They cannot be taken from me or mine in any life at all. And this is one life, the opportunity to hear about the truth, to have such a parami, right understanding of the truth, develop little by little, stage by stage, 3 levels of the round of Satchadhamma, Arya Satchadhamma. So, what is now what round of Arya Satchadhamma?
First round, Pariyatti.
Pariyatti. It's different from the second round, isn't it?
Yes.
That's right. Without understanding of what the second round is, what reality is the factor of the second round, there's no second round. So anyone who try to do something to gain knowledge, to understand this moment, by not hearing and considering, to develop on and on to the degree that it can condition moment of direct awareness with right understanding, it cannot be the second round of Ariya Satya. Is it there now?
Yes.
Until then. So right understanding, realize, experience it with a little more understanding of different stages.
Yeah. So, and every moment is opportunity to develop parami, right?
Not me or my
Yeah.
opportunity, but the
Yeah.
condition for that level of reality can arise
Yeah.
by conditions. So, all dhammas are anatta. The anatta means by conditions,
Mm.
not by anyone's will.
Yeah.
So, learn more about conditions, citta and cetasika and rupa. Now, see, they are there.
Yeah. And in the context of the main question that there is a tendency to go to experience the pleasant objects, may it be sweet food or something like that. Then in this context, how do we understand asevana pachaya? Because you are saying it is important to understand conditions.
How come the tendency? See,
Mm.
by conditions again.
Yeah.
How come to be habits
Yeah.
of very strong habit?
Yeah.
See, by conditions.
Yeah. Yes.
No doubt now about Dhamma and Anatta,
Yeah.
little by little. No one, not you, not me, or Adamas.
Yeah.
The way it is, the conditioned reality just arises and falls away non-stop,
Yeah.
on and on and on. No way out, no one there. It's the way Dhamma is.
Yeah.
And Advait, you asked specifically about asevana pachaya, and what did you have in mind there?
Like, suppose there is pleasant object and there is a attachment, there is a craving.
Yes.
The moment there is craving, there is delight. So, and there is so much of tendency of repetition to that behavior, to that attachment, that it probably magnifies and then then the action happens, right? Something like that.
Well, I think asevana pachaya is more specific than that. It just refers, as I understand it, to the fact that when, if say there's attachment, that's an agusala citta, loba,
Yeah.
rooted in loba,
Yeah.
there will be a number of 7 of those
Javana
before
Chitta.
that, before that mind door process finishes. That's all. But if you're referring to the fact that attachment now is a condition for more attachment later, that is also
At that
correct.
moment itself, not later, at that moment itself.
Well, at that moment of attachment,
Yeah.
it's a condition for attachment later, isn't it? It can't be a condition
Means
for
next
attachment
moment. Yeah,
itself.
later is the very next moment, right?
Well, we don't know how much later. It's not the next moment, actually. You mean the next sensed or the next mind process.
Yeah, means
Because
let me clarify the question. See, now I am seeing a sweet, okay, and then I am there. I understand there is attachment. I don't eat it. This is first scenario. The second scenario, I see a sweet, and then I go and eat it. The second scenario. Then I stop. The third scenario, I know I should not eat, but I eat it 3, 4 times, 3, 4 servings. So these are 3 scenarios. The first scenario, there is probably an attachment, but there is some understanding. So there is no action. The second scenario, there is action. And third scenario, there is repeated action.
The difference between those scenarios is not down to asevana paccaya. That's what I'm saying. Asevana paccaya is something completely different. But we don't need to pinpoint a condition for everything, although it's of interest to learn, as Ajahn said, to learn more about them. But that can be just summarized by saying that attachment conditions more attachment later, and maybe more and stronger attachment later. There's nothing magical about that. It accords with our experience in life, doesn't it? But again, I think you're trying to interpret things in terms of conditions, which is not the same as learning more about different conditions.
Yeah, sorry, I lost the connection.
That's okay. I'll pass over to Thanajan to make some further comments. Ajahn, please.
So what are we talking about now?
We are talking about how the habit pattern is.
That's why we have to learn more about each moment of each reality. For example, can seeing be habit? It arises often.
Yeah.
Even right now?
Yeah.
No, because habits has to be the habits of attachment or aversion or being kind and so on, which is not seeing, because seeing is conditioned by karma. See, otherwise it's one's own idea about what has been read, just one word or one line. Our own idea is there innocently inserted. That's why keep on consider the truth of each word. When we learn about condition, it can be known right now. The seeing, a moment, what is its conditions for its arising, because nothing can arise at all. Learn to see the anotherness of each reality, little by little, to understand more conditions. But it's not just a word, but it's true. If you like the red color, so you buy the red color shirt or necktie or whatever, it doesn't matter at all. By conditions, right?
Yes.
because the habits just like it along on and on. So you can understand when it's there. It's by habits, experience it more than other. So do you know your own habits?
Yeah, to certain extent.
See, because the experiences of what is there as habit, condition such habit, moment of speech or this, moving the eyes, or moving the arms or the leg and so on. By habits, even the sitting position, see. That's why we learn a little more of one condition, because there are so many conditions. So is that which is seen a condition? Because whatever is real is a condition. Learn to understand what is meant by condition. Without condition, nothing can arise. So whatever is real is a condition. So is that which now appears at moment of seeing a condition? To let go the idea of I of something, a little more understanding of the truth, which can be studied one by one, little by little, not all of them, because understanding of the reality is not enough to understand that yet. But the more understanding of the reality can be a little more understanding of the paccaya or conditions for whatever is there. So now there is that which is seen. Is it a paccaya, a condition?
Yes.
What condition is it?
Aramana Pachaya.
Very good. See, no doubt now about Aramana Paccaya.
Yeah.
What can be Aramana Paccaya?
Anything, whether a conceptual object or a chitta or a chetasika.
That's it. See, because Panya can understand anything. So we learn a little more what Paccaya is, that reality, attachment, is it Paccaya?
Yes.
What Paccaya is it?
It can be Aramana Pacha as well, or it can be um, Samanantara Pacha as well, or uh, the pre-nascent condition for the next moment as well.
Anantara Paccaya or Samanantara Paccaya?
Yeah.
Anantara, what we are talking about is by way of Anantara Paccaya or Samanantara Paccaya.
Yeah.
What do you mean, yeah?
So Anantara Pachaya, exactly, I forgot. I'll have to see that. Exact difference between Anantara and Samanantara Pachaya. Proximity and contiguity condition. Yeah, the proximity, the preceding chitta is a condition for arising the subsequent chitta, which is a conditioned Dhamma.
So, what is the difference between Anantara Paccaya and Samanantara Paccaya?
Yeah.
So, like you said, Advait, the
It's
chitta
same.
now,
Yeah.
the chitta and the cetasikas are a condition for the next one, for the next chitta and cetasikas.
Yeah.
And the chitta that follows, it has to be exactly the way it is. It can't be any other way. So the paccaya and the paccayapana are the same, but the anantara refers to how the chitta now conditions the next one, and samanantara as to why it must be that one, not any other one. So it's actually quite a subtle difference.
Yeah.
Like after Panchadwara Vajana Chitta, it has to be seeing consciousness only that arises. By Anantara Pachya, it is the next citta, and by Samanantara, it can't be anything other than seeing consciousness.
Yeah. Yeah. Some is proper order. Yeah.
The order can't be changed. You can't control it. You can't change it. It has to be the way it is,
Yeah.
or by different Pachya.
Yeah. For practical reasons, it is the same, but some is a proper order. So it has to be in that order, that is Samanantara. So attachment can be conditioned by either of these two. After the Aramana, then the Aramana Pachaya, then there can be by the way of Anantara and Samanantara Pachaya, attachment is conditioned. That's what Ajahn was saying.
Not quite, but so at each moment there is an object, Aramana, Pachya, at any moment. And at each moment, the Citta and Chaitasikas arise by Anantara and Samanantara. And the attachment now, it's not vipaka, it's the habit. It's the habit that accumulates. So it accumulates by Upanisya Pachya, Pakatu Upanisya Pachya, natural decisive support condition. So seeing now is a result of karma, but the anger which leads to speaking out loud, or the attachment, or the ignorance now, or even the understanding, they accumulate as habits by Pakatu Upanisya Pachya, very big condition. All the habits arise and accumulate by this condition. So like earlier, when I mentioned the ignorance and attachment accumulating even now, and in the same way, understanding can accumulate by this condition. So many different conditions for the arising of attachment now, all to show you cannot stop it, you cannot change it, you cannot do anything about it. Just different dharmas arising by different conditions.
Yeah. So those three scenarios I told. Yeah, Sundara wants to say something. So those three situations I said where there is a Aramana is there, but there is no action. The second scenario, there is a action. Third scenario, there is repeated action. How do we understand these three scenarios?
So always an aramana, what you call any situation. Actually, there are no situations. There are just different dharmas arising and falling away. So when the lobha is mild, it doesn't condition speech or deeds. When the anger is mild, it doesn't condition speech or deeds. But there's always an aramana, always an object, and it's always accumulating. But when it's of a particular degree, the lobha and the chaitana condition speech and deeds, that's all. But still an aramana at each moment.
And situations are not there to be understood in terms of, if we're talking about insight development.
Yeah.
Yes. And it reminds me of something that Thanajan said earlier in this discussion, I think to Prakash. She said, well, what's the difference between the present situation and the previous time? And the answer, of course, is very little, because they're basically the same conditioned realities, give or take a little bit. So sometimes it might be based in lobha, or sometimes dosa, but the seeing and the hearing and the thinking are there all the time. as the realities, regardless of the situation. And the Dhamma, properly understood, is a teaching that is independent of the situation, because it's only concerned with the conditioned Dhammas that are taken for a situation.
Yeah. But in daily life, these situations are an opportunity to understand Dhamma, right? Because life is full of situations.
Well, life is one moment after another, actually. Is a better way of looking at it. If we say life is full of situations, then our focus will be on trying to understand or analyze situations. But this can be helpful in the conventional sense, but it's not actually particularly useful in terms of the development of insight, because it's about the momentary realities rather than the situation. So we'd all like to understand the situations better. That's a normal sort of inclination. But we can appreciate that this is different from the interest in developing insight. Yes, Sundara, please come in.
Yeah, I was just sorry about that advice. I was having some technical problems here. I think just bearing in mind what Jonathan just said there, that, and what Ajahn was talking about previously, is that understanding develops gradually. It's not something that we can do, and that's not always an easy thing to grasp. Because we have the habit of attending to whatever reality appears, often in very unconventional, in ways that are not helpful. Ajahn, and this was brought up a moment ago by Prakash when he talked about, and of course it's an expression that Ajahn uses with that the Dhamma develops in secret, meaning that it develops because there is not a self who does it. When Dhammas are attended to with wisdom, then it can develop in secret, so to speak. It's just I like the expression because it refers to how Dhamma develops naturally by itself, by conditions, in secret, if you like. And there are often many different conditions operating at any particular time. Like a moment ago, Ajahn was asking about attachment. Of course, that relates to hetu in many ways, which is the foundation. And I referred this an earlier time when Sariputta met Assaji, and Assaji gave him those very famous words, which I'm forgetting at the moment, but he was referring to the fact that the great teacher, this great samana, the Mahasamana, talks about the foundation of the Dhamma being an understanding what these hetus are, which are lobha, dosa, and moha, and their opposites, alobha, a dosa, and a moha. And the more they are attended to wisely, whatever they are, because we're always leaning towards those Dhammas which we like, and that's very understandable. And that will always, because this being the habit, we've talked about pakatupanasya pachya. It's the habit of again and again attending to things with kusala in many cases, sometimes akusala. But because we are attending unskillfully to different dhammas, then that habit reinforces itself again and again and again. That doesn't mean to say we're at the mercy of those habits, but by, as Ajahn has talked about again and again and again, when there is the attending to the present reality, whatever that Dhamma is, there can be more conditions for letting go. But that's not going to happen tomorrow or the next day, but it will happen gradually and in secret. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Thank you. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Ajahn, would you like to add anything before we finish?
A little more understanding, a little more confidence of the truth as parami. Otherwise, it's just a word. But the word just about the truth of what is there right now, any moment. That's why what is there now, is it not known? How can there be any understanding of what we expect to understand? The arising and falling away of what is there is just right now. So it depends on right understanding, which can understand it little by little, which means it's the moment of getting closer and closer to realize the truth, which is hidden right now or any time when there's no understanding. That's all. That's why it takes great patience to listen again and again and again and be true to oneself. How much understanding of the reality by the word that we have heard. For example, Pacchaya, see, Urechata Pacchaya. What about that which is seen now? Is a rupa? Is it Urechata Pacchaya? Because it's there together with Nama and Rupa, which we take for the body, and so on. Little by little, it can be understood, but it has to be carefully considered to really understand how subtle it is. Even Pajayasi, what Pajaya can be known from now to be firm confidence of Sahachata Pajaya. See, not just the word, but the truth of no matter what is there to be known little by little, to gradually letting go the clinging and ignorance of that which is there right now. Clinging is there right now. Ignorance is there right now. And what we are talking about is the only way to listen carefully, to begin to understand, to gradually letting go. So very, very slight of ignorance and attachment. All depends on right understanding only. That's why we keep on discuss again, hearing it again and again about just one reality right now. Until it's so natural, becomes the habits, thinking about what is there, little by little, as Dhamma, and more by attending to the nature of Dhamma, little by little, by conditions. So that is so precious. Sawadee everyone.
Swadika.
Sawadee-ka, Tanaka. Sawadee-ka. Thank you very much.
สวัสดีค่ะขอบคุณค่ะ Thank you
Thank you,
Sarah
everybody.
Thank you everyone Thank you
Thank you,
John
Advait, for your
and thank you
question.
Advait and everyone
Thank
อ
you.
นุโมทนาค่ะ
great
คุณชาคุณ
discussion
จอห์น
thank
คุณ
you
แอดไวท์คุณ
Thank
สุนทรา and everyone
thank you Meta
Hello. Thanks for your question, Gillian. Which
Hello
was
Meta